Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo says they'll soon be asking the public to make submissions to the commission probing state capture. He was updating the media a little while ago. Zondo says the commission began its work 3 months ago. For reaction, I'm joined now by the CEO of the organization Undoing Tax Abuse, Wayne Duvenage. Thank you so much for coming through, Wayne. So I imagine that you like what you heard from the Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo in terms of the update. It seems we will have our first public hearings in August.
Yes, and what we hear from him today, this is a very thorough process. It is well planned. It's going to take a little bit longer than we all would have liked and cost a little bit more. But we hope that from this will flow good evidence, good input, and from that the accountability can start being taken against those who are implicated, and hopefully some jail time.
Yeah, and the Deputy Chief Justice has indicated that the initially envisaged 180 days won't be sufficient. It looks like they may even go for a year or 2 years.
Yes.
Are you happy with that? This will take a bit of financial resources as well.
Yes. So it's going to take a bit longer. I mean, obviously we'd like it to happen sooner rather than later, but if it takes that amount of time, then it's going to have to, because it is thorough. I don't think that stops other processes that are taking place outside of that. The Hawks, the NPA now starting to come to the fore with its work, the SIU and civil action movements like ourselves, laying charges, criminal charges and civil charges will still continue outside of the state capture inquiry.
In fact, as you talk about that, give me a sense of where things stand. I know that there was a litany of court cases that were being laid by various organizations. In terms of the ones that you are laying and perhaps some of the pressure points where you are applying pressure, how is that going?
Well, most of our work has been done. Last year, you remember, we positioned a no room to hide document to Parliament. It was a document we were building so that we could take the various actions we have taken against Daniel Mancha, against Mosebenzi Zwane, Faith Mutambi. The list is quite long, and senior executives within state-owned entities. We have also started a year or so ago a process of having Duvenage declared as a delinquent director. That will only get to court in 2019, and that's a direct actionable case in court. So it's a combination. We've also laid complaints with SICA against some of the chartered accountants involved in state-owned entities with serious transgressions, as well as IRBA, the Competitions Commission. So we approach our fight in corruption and maladministration within the state and waste of taxpayers' money on a number of fronts. And this commission is really excellent because it is government introduced. It's got far more powers, and it will subpoena and bring a lot more information into the fore about state capture. So this is good news for society.
So I imagine that you'll be making submissions to the commission if you've not already approached them.
Absolutely, we have approached them. We have also made submissions to parliamentary portfolio committees, a number of them. In fact, we know today or this week that the Commission on Eskom has handed over its findings to the state capture inquiry, and that's good. And a lot of our work is in that commission as well. So we do know that our work is already flowing through to the commission indirectly, and we will also be directly engaging with them. And we've updated our No Room to Hide report. It's a case document. It's very compelling, and that's being updated as we get more and more information, as we meet more whistleblowers, and as we are able to update that, we feed that through.
The key players in the kind of allegations that are being investigated by this commission include the Gupta family.
Yes.
Some members of which have actually left the country, and you know, it seems that there doesn't seem to be any indication of when they will be returning to South Africa. Are you optimistic that the long arm of justice, in this case being this commission, will be able to reach them and perhaps get them to come back and answer some questions?
Yes, we believe so, because what we see is other oversight bodies within government are applying their necessary pressure through international bodies, Interpol, directly to the chamber, our commissions inside those countries. and embassies to make sure that we make contact with the authorities and bring back everybody who needs to answer questions. So we're quite optimistic that the long arm of the law will bring the Guptas, as well as the other henchmen who have left the country, back to answer the question.
Quick one, Wayne. In just the last few hours, we've seen the Civil Aviation Authority grounding SA Express. Of course, this is a state-owned airline that has also been going through its own trials and tribulations. What do you make of this move?
Well, very good in that there's a safety issue and that's why it's been grounded. But we also know that there was a lot of corruption involved there. We also know that even within the SAA, we're concerned that if there's safety issues, I'm not sure whether the same airline maintenance crews work on SA Express and SAA's planes, but the whole safety issue around aviation needs to be looked at very, very quickly and very carefully. Yes, you know, we've also heard that Minister Gordhan has spoken about a merging of the three airlines under the SAA, and that makes sense, and that will reduce costs. We don't know if SA is salvageable, but that's work in progress at the moment.
All right, thank you so much for coming through and talking to us. That's Wayne Duvenage from the organization Undoing Tax Abuse.